I just started the stream, Joey.
Didn't you just pee?
Nope, there we go. Make sure you get it up. Boom, boom. That's on the live stream. Should have said that. Let's make sure you get the live stream so that you can see it, so that you're checked in. Are you there? Let me know when you're there. And I'm going to go ahead and transition our thing here so that our ugly mugs are there. Hello, everybody in the live stream land.
Don't see it.
We got 2 viewers, so.
Man, it never actually pops up for me.
Yeah,
I don't turn on my notification bell. Turn those bells on.
Turn the bell on, baby. Turn
what
on.
Kind of fugly photo is that? Oh, sorry, I gotta.
Yeah, I know. You're just all my collar's all messed up.
T-shirts, don't have to worry about collars.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what made me put a shirt on that collar today. Okay. Live stream land.
I don't really put a shirt on today.
All right, you ready? We're going to kick this thing off.
Butt naked.
Hey, everybody. I'm Brian.
I'm Joey.
Welcome to the Maryland Fishing Line, episode 25. Today is Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. It's a podcast where we talk about fishing throughout the great state of Maryland. And, Joey, tomorrow's Veterans Day.
You don't want to wait for me to take a big gulp to start?
No, go ahead.
Like the last episode?
What did you... What?
I was in the middle eating a sandwich.
Oh, that's right.
I do want to say happy birthday to the Marines.
And I was going to say Happy Veterans Day to everybody out there tomorrow, but you pointed out earlier that today is the Marines' birthday, but tomorrow's Veterans Day, so it's a nice time to honor our
Do you feel
veterans
like
and service members.
Maybe the Marines can speak that it's like having your birthday right around Christmas?
Probably.
I mean,
I don't know. I can't. I'm not.
But
you're right. I see what you're saying.
They party for like a week or two. Like,
yeah.
My friend, I think I was saying, my friend's out in Coronado right now before he deploys, and his movies he was sending me today, it was like
of what they were doing.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like, oh my god! Every year it's like that. They deserve it.
They party pretty hard. So
yeah,
good on you. Maryland Fishing Line is a production of the Angler Magazine Chesapeake Edition. We have got a jam-packed show tonight, Joey. Fishing reports, our own.
Do we? I'm trying to be in bed in 7 minutes. It's almost 8 o'clock.
It's almost 8 o'clock. We got our own little weekly fishing adventures, and of course we've got our this or that's, which you did the this or that's this week, and I haven't looked at them yet.
I don't even know if I did them right.
Well, it doesn't matter because they're going to be what they're going to be. Because you know what, Joey? It's our podcast. We can do what we want. That's right. That's right. We can do exactly what we want. Before we get too deep into all of the fishing nonsense, though, we got a little business to take care of. Got to pay the bills, Joey. I want to thank our sponsors of the Chesapeake Angler, Waterfront Marine in Edgewater, Maryland, dealing in Robalo fishing boats, Chaparral pleasure boats, and Bennington pontoon boats. You can find out more about all of the things they do right there in the water in Edgewater on their website at waterfrontmarine.com. JMJ Firearms, Mechanicsville, Maryland. Modern Air, HVAC, Mechanicsville, Maryland. Robin Caballaro at Remax One. I got a story to tell. Just sold a house.
You actually sold that thing?
Sold that house. We had a
Did they know about the asbestos?
Robin sold the house, and we had, I think we were pushing more than 20 offers in the first 2 days. And all of them were well above asking price. Well, within reason, not because sometimes I think when you look and you say it's above asking price, you can say, well, did you price the house?
You know
wasn't that kind of
You know
scenario.
what you should have done.
What's that?
When it happens like that?
What?
You should have everyone write a letter. Has to be a page long, no more, no less.
We did not.
Why they should have that house?
Nope. We did not entertain letters because she advised against us.
I think it'd be funny.
I don't
just
know.
hearing some of the.
She said, "You're just opening yourselves up for people to say."
I wrote a letter to adopt my dog, and they thought that was like a kid that wrote it.
Well, that's different too, though. As an adult, you should.
Please, mister.
Hey, we're on video, so I want to let you know you got something dangling on the beard there. Can you see it?
No one could see it from the mic.
I thought you did. Maybe you didn't. Maybe it was just the light.
It was probably water.
It was the light catching the
Water
corner
droplets.
of your beard. But there we go. Robin Caballaro, Remax One. She will sell your house, and she will sell it fast. So if you need your house sold, or if you're looking to buy a house, she's the one to call. Stoney's Kingfishers in Solomons, Maryland. Scotts Cove Marina in Deal Island, Maryland. Huntingtown Automotive in Huntingtown, Maryland. Eat Chesapeake in Dunkirk, Rosehaven, and Bowie, Maryland, otherwise known as Chesapeake Grill. You're going to find links to all of these folks in the show notes or in the show description. Make sure to let them know you heard about them Here, how you doing this week, Joey?
You heard with Purd. I'm doing pretty good. I am I'm actually still sore. I don't even know if I said that in the last podcast, but I'm still sore from the floor.
From doing the floor? Yeah, you've been working on the
I turned
floor.
down fishing 2 mornings this weekend because of floor.
But you know what? It's this time of year, I mean, there's certain fish when we get these little Indian summers that really respond well. But
I saw birds this morning. I was at my mailbox out in the creek. I mean, if that's not a heartbreaker, I don't know what is.
There's a lot of fishing going on right now in this weather. What are you drinking over there tonight, Joey?
I have a 16th of a glass left of Purple Monkey dishwasher.
You've got a very little bit of beer left, and you switched to water.
Switched to water. I've been on a water kick lately.
Well, we did Purple Monkey dishwater, which is a chocolate porter, chocolate peanut butter porter.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of the brewery. It's
Evil.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then I switched up to an Oktoberfest, Clink, Cheers, all that good stuff.
Well, usually I don't drink more than 1 or 2 heavy beers like that at night.
No, you can't drink a lot.
And I literally had coffee all day till about 5 o'clock at work. I take my big container, and I should drink more water during the day.
Our live stream is really quiet over there.
Well, everyone's watching all the war movies.
Yeah, that's true. What's going on around the state? I mean, it's rockfish.
Shut down.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Hogan just came out with his, we're going backwards again. But, hey, you know what? He's going to get ahead of it, and we're not going to have this crazy second wave. So maybe.
I'm telling you, I'm ready for like a full-on 3-week. You leave your house, you're gonna get painted with some paintballs or something.
That's a great idea. Arm people with paintball.
Yeah, we get someone in every neighborhood who's like the neighborhood watch.
You get the paintball gun for the day, and then you get to stand at the yeah.
You can stand on your grass out front and your patio back.
I think that's a fantastic idea. You should write the governor with that. Make sure you make sure you
take it serious this time.
Make sure you do it in crayon too.
I don't care what everyone's belief is on all this. Like, I don't know, just we got to nip in the bud. It's obviously still an issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whether you believe in it or not,
it doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not. It's a reality that it's here. Yeah. So we got nothing going on in state right now except for rockfish, white perch, and catfish.
Is that what you meant? I'm really bad at this.
Yeah. Calm winds, sunny days, 70 degrees are going to make for some great November fishing.
Small fish on top and large fish on the bottom.
That's how it seems to work.
Yeah. That is the story right out the bay. Now's the time of year where investing in the sonar unit is useful. Yep. This is why I got it, but I have yet to put it on my. And I'm trying to scramble every time. I don't know. Trolling smaller umbrella rigs, if that's your thing, is a good choice right now.
But you got to put those big inline weights to get the bait deep.
Yep.
And that's how you're going to connect with those larger fish that are where, Joey? On the bottom.
On the bottom.
The keeper size for Potomac River right now is 20 inches. That you can keep 2 fish a day right now in the Potomac River.
Are you serious, Clark?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Everywhere else, you're still at the 1 a day, 19 inches. And if you're fishing the rivers, the closer you get to the bay and the rivers, the better off you're going to be.
We should go fish Point Lookout.
I'd be down for that. Out of the kayak.
Oh, man, I just talked. Yeah, I don't even want to go out there to boat. Man, I just talked. Maybe leaving St. Jerome's, going out in the bay from there. I feel more comfortable. There's some eerie feeling that I talked about an episode or 2 ago.
It's big water.
In the horror stories.
Yeah.
The big water scares me.
Yeah, it's big water.
I'm fearless otherwise.
No, I don't know that it's scared. I think it's healthy respect.
Yeah.
Because you don't strike me as a person that would be scared of something.
No, I have issues though. I will go out on some really bad stuff.
Having issues though is also different than being scared.
There's I guess it's a respect for that. I
think it's healthy respect. That's
I'll keep my distance on that one.
What's going on with Perch?
Perch, they have gone deep.
Blub blub.
30, 40 feet of water, whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. Find some holes. You're going to find them there.
Hard bottom.
Yeah, hard bottoms, jigging them up with bottom rigs or with some bottom rigs with bloodworms, because apparently bloodworms are easier to find nowadays.
Are they? Have they come down in price?
I don't know if they come down with price, but I've heard they are easier to come by, though. Okay. Which, you were at the tackle box with me that one day in the middle of the worm shortage, and like Tackle Box has it on the door at eye level.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that you guys got bloodworms, and I was like, I feel so bad for these guys.
It's like you got a rock hopper.
I do the same thing. I put signs on my door, and I'm like, you literally walk right past it.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, you know what gets me? People that call my store and ask, what are your hours or address? I'm like, you Googled me to find my number. It's literally right there.
Right there underneath.
It's 2020. Use your Apple machine.
Believe it or not, Joey, we're still seeing some puppy drum in the mix in the lower Patuxent. I mean, could they be a winter fish?
Well, generally, I do know in the low country and all, for the creeks. This is the time of year where people are sight fishing for, like, down south. I'm talking like North Carolina, South Carolina. They're
not too far away.
That's not far away. No. But it's the type of year in the marsh where the drum are schooling up in big schools, like 40, 50, out in the middle, and they're easy to... they start traveling together this time of year as it gets colder. No onesie twosies, they're traveling in packs.
So when you find one, you find a bunch.
Yeah.
I like that. There's a dude that I just started following on Instagram. And I told you about my cast net adventures, right? That I'm starting to like play with a cast net. And I wanted to learn how to do it from a seated position in the kayak. And
did you catch yourself?
No, I haven't tried it on the boat yet. My God. I'm still trying to just learn how to throw it. And then I think I'll graduate to a lawn chair. And then once I can figure it out in a lawn chair, then maybe I'll take it out on the boat in the water.
You need a Titan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe the mix. So I'm following him, and he does like 2 videos a week on YouTube. Very low following though, very very small numbers, but the videos are really good.
Where's he from?
Charleston, and so he's down there catching the redfish that you talk about all the time. And I'm like, this actually looks pretty doggone good. So, and he's catching fish right now. So something to be said for that.
I follow too many people in that area that are probably unhealthy for my view time on my phone, but the fishing seems great all down there.
Yeah, if I feel like, I mean, here it is mid-November, and that dude's like, but we're still catching fish.
Yeah, I say I witnessed people catching puppy drum with me last week. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, last week in the creek right here. Yeah, 100 yards from the house.
Yeah, so they're here. They're still here.
Yeah, like I said, I'm switched up tactics, and I think that's why I'm not catching them.
Yeah, I have too. I'm kind of like really after the rockfish right now, but we're going to talk a little bit about that later because I think I'm getting ready to switch up some gears too.
The largemouth fishing is good. Well, we still have these really mild temps
it
that
was
are going to
hot
remain
today.
Yeah, it's been a couple days. It's been hot. Search shallows for fish that are eager to feed right now, especially before we get another cold snap. Snakehead live bait under bobbers is the best trick right now, and the fishing is also great with these warm temps for them.
I think they kind of run hand in hand. It almost feels like as we've walked through this, doing this report since back in June, it's almost like the largemouth and the snakehead kind of follow each other with regards to availability and temperature. And as I've been seeing a lot of social media posts from people on a lot of Facebook groups and then on Instagram, although I use Instagram more than Facebook now anyway, with snakehead right now. So as long as these mild temperatures, these fish are going to come up and they're going to feed. And if you put a big old nasty minnow out there underneath a bobber in front of them, I don't think they have any choice but to take it. I think it's like a law over in like Dorchester County. Catfish, they're here. Find the bait, find the fish. They love the cold water. They're going to be our go-to for the winter. Fresh cut bait, clam snouts, night crawlers, chicken livers, anything that stinks or smells bad. Have you ever seen anybody, Joey, we may have talked about this before, take the chicken breasts and put them in a Ziploc bag with something like some strawberry Kool-Aid to give them some flavor?
We're talking about,
for catfish.
Yeah,
Taking a chicken breast, cutting it up and putting it in.
Oh, not chicken breast.
Chicken breast, chicken liver, anything.
Nope.
Putting like some strawberry Jello.
I've seen the strawberry Jello with catfish and carp.
Yeah. I'm thinking that maybe of giving that a shot here now that the rockfish have cooled off in the creek. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Recreational crabbing has slowed down as water temperatures become chillier and crabs begin to migrate to those deeper waters. You're still seeing in the lower part of the bay and some of the tributaries, you're still finding some catches on the right day at the right time. You can get on some crabs in 12 to 15 feet of water. I pulled my pots last weekend. We had our last few little dangler crabs, which were actually really good. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to be kind of a little off or maybe a little light or whatever, but no, I mean, they were spot on good stuff.
Nice.
So that's a fishing report that I think is going to be sort of like the winter drumbeat. It's going to be rockfish, perch, or the largemouth and snakehead moving. Hey, go find a catfish, and well, we're going to take crabs out of the mix next week.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to kind of be like
we could oysters back in.
We could just you know what, we should do that. Put oysters back in.
We could go pat and tongue oysters out there in your little kayak.
Get a dredge, drag it behind your kayak. My boat's not moving. What's wrong?
Oysters.
Hey, your dad's the only one in the live stream.
Yeah,
today.
he says I'm an idiot.
Hey, Paul, good to see you in the live stream. Thanks for joining us tonight. What have you been doing this last week, Jay?
Man, I'm trying to think back. This be due to current events. I mean, it's been it feels like last week was a long time ago.
It does, doesn't it?
I was actually trying to think
time ago.
what I talked about fishing wise. So I've actually been fishing a lot more than I thought since the last episode.
Yeah.
So Dave wanted to. Something worked out last week with work where Dave said, "Hey, let's go out fishing on Wednesday."
Mm-hmm.
So played hooky with my boss. It's nice playing hooky when
nice.
your boss is like,
yeah.
I want to go. I'll pick you up at your pier in a little skiff. We fished the creek, and we started kind of late. I think we both just wanted to relax for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So no 6 o'clock like tomorrow's going to be.
Yes.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Gonna put the biscuit in the basket. You gotta risk it.
So Dave picked me up. We had a slow day, but it wasn't bad. I was not working, and I caught about a half a dozen. I took my fly. I was jigging because I've been back heavy with the fly rods. But since it was two of us, just hanging out in the boat, I was actually fishing more. The tides last week were ridiculous. The lowest.
They're weird.
Every time we say, "Oh, that's the lowest tide we've ever seen down here," in the last year, it gets beat. The last
changes.
week, like the water was past the first part of my pier, anyway, the water got super clear, super low. So I was fishing the channel of the creek a lot, just jigging with these little paddle tails and GI jigs.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pulling up a lot of fish, a lot more than I thought. And then it kind of died off in the middle of the day. And then
When you say jigging, what does that mean to you? I know everybody's got a little bit of a different definition. How do you when you say
I would say I probably used the wrong.
When you're jigging the edges, I mean, are you dropping the bait to the bottom and just bopping it along while you do a little slow? Yeah, okay.
So I bop it along, especially with the paddle tail.
Yeah.
I've always learned that stripers hit it on the fall.
Yeah.
So I'm usually giving it a good little whack, and then and I'll get to a certain point where I'll change it up too.
Okay.
It's like you fish topwater. Sometimes you're walking the dog, and they just you're watching it, or you don't know at all, and then it's not till your last like 5 feet where you start reeling in normal, and they attack. And you change it up enough to catch fish.
I hate that. I had just to break for a minute. I had a topwater fish chase a fish chase a bait. I was throwing one of those big like spooks, and it was I was walking the thing, popping it back and forth, and I would watch that fish behind it. It would charge at it, and the water would boil up behind it, and then it would stop.
I love that.
And then it would twitch it, and he would charge up behind it again, and it would stop. He never did, actually. Yeah. He never took it. I guess I was doing something quite wrong.
I'm convinced the smaller ones will do that, and you get one of those good ones, and they just mollywop it.
Well, I think when it happens, those little ones are following it, and then all of a sudden the big one's like, no,
excuse me.
That's mine. Get out of the way, little junior.
Yeah.
That's when the real stuff happens.
So we did that, and I actually wanted to get the following day, I took my neighbor out, Steve, who bought a Slayer. He's a big Potomac guy, and he moved here like 5 years ago and was learning the river and the creek on this side. So we went out the following morning, but around midday, I was like, well, I do have to take my kayak down the water. So I put it in the water and fished for like and pulled a couple nice ones. Then I ended up with like a 22, 23
nice
off of a hump out in the middle of the creek that I had really good visual on where it was because the tide was so low earlier. Okay. There's a buoy that sits. I'm like, oh, that's a nice little thing because I still don't have my Garmin on my new kayak.
It doesn't take much.
No.
Those fish will relate to something even.
And then the next morning, same thing. We went out to that and pulled a couple fish off that. So that was kind of nice. So I actually fished twice that day and just was like, you fished twice? Yeah.
I know. You know what your mistake was? You came back in the house.
Oh, no. I did house stuff, and she wasn't mad.
Okay.
Oh, man, I made quite the dinner that night, too.
Oh, good.
I did that oyster thing as like an appetizer. And
the bruschetta?
No, that was I've been doing appetizers.
Okay. Well, that looked good.
When I have time. No, I shucked some oysters, cleaned them out, put them back in the shell, put them on the grill for just a little bit with some garlic butter sauce.
That looked good.
And then, then fishing next morning. The creek topwater bite shut off a little bit last week. And I knew that would be my last good fishing day for a while as I was putting in flooring in my house this weekend. And my dad came over and helped me all Saturday, and I'm like 95% done.
The floor looks good.
Which means I can start another project with flooring next week. Now that we're going to keep chugging away at it. But I did, Steve asked me to go out on a boat with him, his boat, which is a bigger center console out in the bay, and kind of like show him some areas in the past that I fished on the bay, and it's been a while. And he heard there was some specks up north, but it might be early, so we chased those. Had the sheriff's department chase us by the...
What?
Yeah. The sheriff has a couple of the bigger, those like, they almost look like Coast Guard and Boater Life boat things right across the street from here.
Why were they chasing you?
They weren't chasing. So, obviously 9/11, you go up to the gas docks, they have the buoys all around. We were coming along, the crab pot line. We might have got a little close to the buoy. I was like, Steve, we're getting close. And then there's a tanker out there fueling, and then the tugboats were just sitting off, and the sheriff's boat comes. It has that big engine. You hear the engine, and it comes close, and it's running parallel next to us, and we're both going really fast. And I'm like, Steve, I think he's pushing us out. And she's like, well, I'm trying not to run over the crab pots, and I was like, damn. And they did, like, we're like, do you want to stop? Nothing. And they have like a big old M60 on the front of this thing. Like, holy cow. Like, they're, they got that new budget or whatever for the security.
That's their Corona money.
Oh, man. And that's like a 30-something foot. That's a nice boat, but.
Do they ever troll off of that? That's what I would do.
Well, not with the machine gun up front. But then, and that was fun. It was actually nice being back out in the bay. The bay was perfect. And we were going to go across over to the Honga and decided to stay close because I really wanted to fish the Cove Point area. The new riprap estuary, whatever they did to rebuild the marsh.
Okay.
And actually was productive on topwater to the point where it was fun. There was a couple times where I was throwing a topwater. So what me and Steve did, if someone's throwing topwater, the other throwing like a paddle tail in the same area.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it was doing well, and I was getting some times where I was getting those multiple fish busting on the plug, and then Steve would just drop it right behind it and then pick them off with his little paddle tail, and it worked.
They seem to really like those smaller baits sometimes. Yeah.
I love those 4-inch what are those?
The saltwater bass
assassin. Yeah, those little. I have a lot of those.
Oh God, I should invest in that company. I've got so many of those things.
So that was fun. We hit a nice pot of fish out in the middle of the bay on the way back in, and then hit some spots in the harbor right before it got dark, and it was 5:15. We were back for dinner.
That sounds like a good day.
It was fun. We actually were catching fish in the creek before we left. We're like, oh, do we need to put all this gas money in the boat? And then Steve was like, oh, we don't need to leave the creek. I was like, we don't have to. I mean, I'm not doing flooring right now. So it's fun fishing with him. We've been able to fish multiple times now, and now we're neighbors, which is cool.
That's nice.
So I'm taking him back out on the kayak side now tomorrow morning before work because we both have to be back by 8:30. So our schedules work out really well. So probably 6 o'clock leaving down to the creek.
Nice.
And I think that's about it. And we're getting a lot of rain coming in soon.
Tomorrow afternoon, right? It comes in?
Yeah. So we'll get a good morning out of it.
Yeah. Can I shout out for some of the folks in the live stream real quick? Sean, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Billy's here, finally gets to watch. He always comes in right at the end. He's like, hey, I'm here. Right at the end, we're like, shut her down. Dimitri wants to know, any reports of stripers in the surf yet? I guess he's talking about Ocean
City.
I don't know. Is that ever really a thing over there? I guess maybe up into Delaware, but those fish seem to come in to the top of the bay, come through the bay, and then pop out the bottom.
Yeah. I've seen in the springtime, I know they hit parts of Delaware, and you can catch a nice sized striper, even a huge bluefish from the beaches.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the fall bite for that yet.
I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any reports of that either.
Not yet, but it actually be a lot of fun. I wish we had the fishing like up in Montauk and stuff where you could fish from the
goodness.
surf fishing guys. Like
That's crazy.
those surf fishing guys are a whole other breed of craziness.
Go out on those rocks into those pencil poppers and just literally light up a 30-pound striper from from 15 or 20 feet right in front of you.
Yeah.
So Dimitri, we're not sure about that yet. Haven't seen any reports of it though. And then Phil, late but I made it.
Yep.
Good job. We were getting ready to penalize you. So good that you showed up. Still have no Charles though. Charles isn't here. I don't know where Charles is.
He's probably partying. He's
Oh yeah, that's right. He's a Marine. He's doing Marine party duty. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, I did. So I think we sold it between. So we're down to like one fishing kayak left, and I have some people headhunting for it, but we got one Bonify left. We put in a huge even our native rep was like, "Holy cow!"
What are you doing?
Well, I think everyone is, but I think we really pushed it because I'm planning on bringing a couple boats for you. Stocking order. I put a huge stocking order in. I
don't need to tell people what it's all about quite yet, but Brian's getting ready to invest in a bunch of boats.
Yeah.
So you could take that and do with it what you
He's
want.
running with the cartel down south.
We're gonna smuggle things.
Yeah, DEA's not looking for kayaks. Those Titans carry 500 pounds of weight. And it's a white powdery hull on the inside.
What are you gonna do? So you got one. Bonafide.
We got one Bonafide left. The amount of boats that, to the point where we normally pick up our own kayaks. Mm-hmm. We have a 20-something. We have a 20-foot box trailer. We have trucks. To the point where we just said screw it. We're filling up almost like the back of a smaller trailer. Trailer.
When you say a huge order, what's a ballpark number of boats that you're getting in?
This is just a spring. Just fill us up. It's like 60.
Nice.
It's between Hurricane, maybe 50 or 60. Between Hurricane, Native, Bonafide, and Liquid Logic. What's
the breakdown of fishing boat versus pleasure boat?
We usually go, I would say 60-40.
60 pleasure, 40 fishing? Okay.
Yeah, we're going really deep with Bonafide and really, really deep with Native this year.
When are you going to start selling tackle? And
I don't want to dabble into that.
Can you get bloodworms for me, Joey?
No, thank you. No, I don't want to do that side. I would love the industry hookups, but
that's all I'm
I can already get those.
To be honest.
I mean, I want to. I'm planning on doing way more with Yak Attack and Yak Power and stuff like that this year, which I did my Yak Attack preseason and stuff like that. So, just trying to change things up, offer a little bit more. I think there's a hole down here for that, and
absolutely.
I'll need to dabble in it this year to see.
I mean, because think about it. If you're looking for a fishing kayak, and you're in Southern Maryland or even across the bridge on 301
in Bass Pro Shops,
Northern Neck,
get no help.
But even that, I mean,
you get Delaware Paddle Sports.
Yeah, in Delaware. Then you got over in Easton, and you got some stuff up.
Easton Cyclone Sport.
But here in Southern Maryland,
nothing.
It's you guys. That's it.
I can't offer no tax, but I can save you from driving Delaware. That's a horrible state. I love that state. No, Delaware's a good state. Yeah, so it's
comment, Joey.
I probably lost 2 listeners to that one. It'll be a good year, all the way to the point where I ordered I don't know, a handful of Propel boats as rentals this year coming up and stuff like that. So
awesome,
it'll be fun. I don't think I'm gonna outfit them with anything because that just means more stuff to break. I'll set them up basics. I'm not doing like you were talking with units and stuff. As far as my side of business, I don't need that problem. But it'll be good. So I'm kind of excited. We finished that like Friday. So I want to offer everything to a point.
Just don't sell my boats.
Well, and we did go somewhat heavy because we've been told it might be a similar situation where you might have a really long lead time
next year
to get kayaks. Yeah, they're already seeing that issue because they're getting everyone's preseason.
Yeah.
Because normally
I'm banking on it.
Titans were normally made to order.
Really?
Yeah. You want a Titan? It took them like a week. They would have an occasional stock, but generally
that's not bad though. A week.
No. Other boats they would have pre-made, but there's a good chunk of Titans in the past where otherwise if someone really, really wanted one and they had like a Slayer Max and Copperhead, I could drive down there tomorrow and pick it up. Like we do that. We have that service. It's going to be a weird year, so hopefully it'll be nice.
Yeah, who knows what 2021 is going to be.
Native has some new boats coming out. I got some of those coming. Bonafide. I'm waiting to see a Propel Bonafide, but that's not going to happen this year.
Can you talk about the new natives yet?
No.
Okay. When will you be able to?
January.
Okay. Put it on the calendar, folks.
Yep.
Joey's got new boats to talk about come January.
So we Phil's and my dad's Titans will be here in December, which will be nice. Also, so I think I asked you about braid as you were leaving last time, and I actually put spider wire on, which I haven't used since my dad probably got it for me when I was a kid. I think my dad hated when I used spider wire because if you get that stuck, you can't really. Because I never tied leaders or anything on with that. And I've been on it a week. I filled up 2 reels with it.
Wait a minute, you're talking about you put spider wire on?
Yeah, I actually bought spider wire, and I've always used Power Pro.
That's what I use.
I like Power Pro.
Yeah.
It lasts. The Power Pro I had on a reel out there is pretty old. I mean, that's why the reel's in pieces on my patio. So
I just saw that when I came in. You got
so that thing seized up on me. That is a really old Sahara or Sedona. I don't know. It's like 10 years old.
Okay.
I need to service it. It actually, I mean, that thing's been bulletproof.
They're easy to take apart.
They're easy to take apart.
The problem is if you've broken a little pin, it like costs you as much to get the pin shipped to you.
That reel has paid for itself over and over.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the reel. Like I've caught 40-inch stripers on it, and it's a 2500.
So, if you stocked up on some of those little pins and some of those little tiny pieces, that then you could be you could do that instead of selling tackle. You could be tackle repair.
No, I'll figure. I'm a fiddler. I will take that thing 100% apart, even if it doesn't go back together.
Yeah, just to know what you're doing.
Yeah. I like to do that stuff, but did you say you use Beyond Braid? I've been getting a lot of advertisements for that lately.
I have never used Beyond Braid.
I see mixed reviews in the Facebook comments. I hear like customer service is amazing, the stuff works great, or I hear the opposite in other comments. But you can get I almost got like a 500-yard spool.
Question: what kind of customer service do you need with fishing line?
Well, to the point where people say they order it and like 2 weeks by, they get no shipment, no one responds to their stuff. It's like they just gave their money away.
Okay, gotcha.
But the stuff looks cool. They have different colors like blue camo, pink camo, camo.
I have.
It's like 500-yard spool for $23.
Oh, that's what you were talking about the other day. We were talking.
So
about
I was going to buy a 1,000-yard spool. I figured, all right, me, my dad, you. I mean, we could fill up a lot of reels.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much I put a few hundred yards on like a 3,000 reel I have, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone's fished Beyond Braid.
Anybody in the comments in the live stream fished Beyond Braid? Phil said in his defense for being late, he was out fishing. And Billy, I'm not sure if you're talking about Hobie, question mark.
Well, let's talk about bringing in kayaks. I'm not a Hobie dealer.
Oh, yeah, not a Hobie dealer.
But I think Jerry got a new Hobie.
Yeah, he actually took his Outback. He had it all stripped down. He was putting it on the truck, I think, yesterday to go back over to Easton to pick up his new boat. He is dreading putting that thing all back together again.
That's my thing. I don't have it much, but I don't know. Days are short, and I work.
I've got stuff that I got to put on my boat in the spring that I still haven't put on.
Yeah,
just because you're fishing it so much.
And I'm really thinking. So whoever I put my transducer on, Native has a really nice transducer plate. That'll be what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about not keeping my wires clean in the next month. Just fish it somewhat tidy, but no, I'm not putting any holes in it. I'm going to run it external everything. Yeah. And then when it slows down a little bit, I'll run it.
Take your time, do it right.
Yeah. I'll get the transducer on that. That is what it is, but I'll run.
I get it. I get it.
So I did pull out an old rod. So I have a few Tide Masters from St. Croix that were sitting on my rod rack. I've been fishing them lately. And I like one-piece rods, and I have a 6.5, and I got a 7, and my one Shimano's a 7. And I just started fishing them, and they feel really good. I've kept them clean. They're really nice. They're a few years old, but I'm thinking about, have you seen someone rip off the cork on an old current existing rod and re-put new cork on?
No.
Thinking about doing it to that. So, like if you boil or heat up the cork, that epoxy will let loose. Uh-huh. And I'm thinking about like totally spiffing up and.
Does it come in like a sheet and then you roll it and cut it?
The
cork.
Oh no! So I learned with rod building, that like that section of cork, that'll generally be like one piece you buy, and then so you have 3 pieces. You have an upper piece of cork, the rod seat, and then the lower on a ride like that. And then what I want to do is heat the whole thing up, and then hopefully the epoxy should let go, and it'll all slide off. And then clean it off, and then buy new sections. And then you just coat it, you sand it off a little bit, coat it in epoxy, and then slide it back on and let it set.
Getting it off sounds like the hard part.
Yeah.
Like could you cut it off? But you would damage the rod.
I would just heat it up. I'd probably boil some water, and I have a heat gun.
Yeah.
Now that might be a winter project is redoing cork on a lot of my rods.
That sounds cool.
And I don't know, it's cool, especially I'm almost done with one of my rods and I'm about to start another. Is like I have another stupid St. Croix rod where like I need pieces redone, so I'm gonna take another rod and do new guides on it. 'Cause the blank is pearly white or not pearly. It's clean as everything. There's a couple pieces of epoxy I want to chip off, and so where a lot of people are outfitting kayaks, I'm going to redo a lot of my tackle.
Smart.
So I know that was a long Joey rant. I feel like I took the whole hour.
No, you're good.
But hey, I don't have anything interesting to talk about, so that's what I'm talking about.
You've got everything interesting to talk about. Anything going on over here in live stream? Billy said, yeah, he was looking for just to try the Hobie. He loves his Old Town. I'm right there with you, man. I'm a Old Town 120 PDL guy. You know that. What's this your dad's talking about? Wind golf grips. Fishing rod grips.
Yes, and I meant to tell. Well, I only saw it 2 nights ago. So, Crazy Horse Custom Rods and St. Leonard. So Steve, my neighbor, is like best friends with that guy.
Okay. And
Steve fishes about every day. And Steve came home the other night, and we were both out front. And he's like, "Hey, check out this rod I just bought." And it's just really nice. It looked like the Joker. It was a really nice green with purple wrap. And then he's like, "Look at the seat." And did he fart?
No. Look at my things.
I'm feeling it, and I'm like, Max. I was like, this feels like a wind grip. And I was like, it can't be. Like, in the past, I used wind grips at a golf match one time in the pouring rain, and the grips were ruined. And I look at it, and it is stamped wind. So wind grip makes really nice golf grips.
Okay, because that's not a world that I've ever moved in.
Yeah, and they're super comfortable. They're like this, almost like a lizard skin.
Okay.
On the bike side would be.
Okay, high end, good stuff.
Yeah, gotcha. Real tacky. You clean it up with soapy water, and it's tacky again. And he has a couple rods over there with it on that I got to feel.
Huh.
It's like $300 rod.
So, but that means that these grips that you're familiar with from your golf background, are now available.
I would love to put one of those on a rod.
So, are they making them for fishing rods?
Oh no, it's a fishing specific grip.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Is if somebody had hacked it and was now putting those grips onto rods, or if Wynn had started to make. Oh, interesting. That's cool.
And I've seen some weird grips. That one makes sense. That stuff's just comfy in your hands. A lot easier to clean than cork. Oh, cork's actually easy to clean. Never mind. Cork with soapy water and a toothbrush. You'll pull out. You don't realize how dirty they are.
Oh, the oils.
Yeah, and if you really wanted some like 600 grain sandpaper and just clean it off, but
and it gets slick too. It gets like that.
And the wind grips, his was black. I don't know if they have other colors. I didn't even think about that. I'm glad someone wrote that. I'm about to do a rod soon, like a spinning rod. I want to do.
This has been.
Yeah, sorry, I took all your time.
No, that's okay. I don't have much to talk about. It's probably been like a last hurrah kind of week for me. The rockfish, I think, are really moving out.
You did tell me you were talking about pulling the boat.
I'm thinking about pulling the boat up from the pier. In my setting, that's
a lot of work.
I have a big hill that I have to get up and down, which I have, 4-wheel drive Kubota to go up and down the hill. But if I'm pulling a 120-pound boat up and down the hill, it becomes a bit of a chore.
I literally ripped the handle off my Slayer pulling down the hill.
I know. I just it's a lot of work, and I've enjoyed having it down there. But I think maybe it's time to, because I think what's happened is, I'm up at the top end of the creek, and I think a lot of the fish have moved out. I can still pick up some smaller fish and maybe some resident fish on some of the lumps that I know where they're going to hold fish. Yep. But I also know that there's bigger fish that I'm marking on the finder at those lumps that are not rockfish, and they have got to be catfish. There's no other thing they could be. I don't know if they're carp. I don't think they're carp. I doubt they're carp. Although I have seen some big fish kind of moving up in the top end of the creek in the real shallow water, which I think are carp. I think it's got to be catfish. So I've been thinking about.
You mean catfish by catfish?
I'm being catfished by Catfish, exactly. I'm thinking about, before I pull the boat up the hill, taking some of these mild days and going out and bottom bouncing some cut bait where I mark those fish just to see what's there, just to kind of test the waters. But I think the creek is slowly but surely kind of shutting down. So I think if I really want to get in on some of these last of the season kind of fish, I probably need to pull the boat and hook up with you down here because you're closer to the mouth of the river into the bay. And I think that's why you're still seeing good quality fish in my opinion.
You got fish breaking in the creek all day.
Yeah, I've kind of moved my fish. I think I've kind of moved off. Although it's still weird. I mean, occasionally when you pull into one, I mean the pullage is ridiculous. Those little 17-inch fish right now are like
huge bellies on them.
Oh my goodness, they're fat. They're just so fat, and they're spitting up bait all over the boat. We talked about that last week.
Yeah.
That's me. I feel like my fish are kind of moving out a little bit. Believe it or not, Joe, I'm already in a position where I feel like I'm almost behind the curve for the December magazine. It's just the cycle is crazy. And I looked at it.
Oh, it is November 10th.
Yeah, I know.
I was thinking October.
I think my deadline is like 6 or 7 days away for December. But it sure does make the time go fast. I was looking at my Instagram or my photos on my phone because I was like, when did I catch my first fish last year? What was the date? And it was sometime in early March that I caught my first largemouth last year. And so I did the number days. It's only like 3.5 months that we're like, quote unquote, off. Until that comes back again. I'm like, I can handle that because everybody's going to be indoors when COVID shuts everything down anyway. So what's it matter? What's it matter? Oh, Billy said that Lew's rods have those grips.
Lew's. Who's that?
It's a rod manufacturer.
Oh, sorry.
Reel manufacturer.
Okay.
So not Lew as in a person.
Oh, because I was thinking like, oh, Crazy Horse. I forgot Dave or something. I was like, well, is he like a Dave or? Yeah, I say my dad just messaged me and said when his grips were. I'm on Mudhole Custom Tackle, and they have the whole lineup from when.
What do they look like?
I would flip my screen around, but the camera.
No, don't do that.
They have some. They have the tip.
Well, if I was prepared, I could do a screen.
They have some cool. They almost like the camo lizard skins where it's like chartreuse, squiggly black. They got some like Dorado looking wraps, and they actually have some rolls that literally look like lizard skin bike tape that you can. That's overwrap. Gotcha. It's really cool. This will be on my radar.
Yeah, keep that out there. Maybe we'll look some of that stuff up and see if we can't talk a little bit about them. Maybe get them on here as like a. We could red shift. We're gonna start calling it this when we red shift target somebody like that. Little inside joke, everybody. Trying to find a sponsor. You ready to do this or that, Joey? Let's do them. Come on. You wrote them.
Really, I feel like I talked for an hour and I took all your.
No,
well, we can talk as long as we want, really.
Yeah, it's our podcast. We do whatever we want. You can do whatever you want.
I mean, I can keep talking about stuff.
I'll just sit over. As long as you want to talk, I'll just sit over here and drink beer and all as well.
Let me tell you about the bending branches order I did last week, too. I was like, if you want to paddle.
Did you do a big bending branches order?
Yeah, like a lot.
Well, if you got a lot of boats.
Well, I have different ship windows. I have a lot of different boats.
If you got a lot of boats, you got
a lot. $400 paddle and the $60 paddle.
I'm thinking about all the things that I'm going to need.
I actually still got to run your paddle through. I forgot about that today.
Oh, I thought we hadn't done that. Okay, we haven't
Sorry,
done that.
I forgot about that. Dave's like, where's their paddle? And I was like, well, probably. Anyway, best paddle.
That's on you because I tried to pay. No,
yeah, you did try to pay, and I was like, oh, but I feel guilty telling someone. I actually never rang your stuff up. Well, they have made like the best angling paddle for like I don't know how many years straight.
Oh well, it's
that Angler Pro that I have is like the top rated, and those green ones like you guys have. Mm-hmm. I've been actually using that more on the boat. I'm not paddling a lot, but. God, they're nice paddles.
I don't ever seem to paddle anymore.
Well, everyone does their pre-seasons right now. Like Yak Attack hit me today, Stolequest, all this other stuff, and there's incentives. So if I order now, and the paddle industry is nice, all the way kayaks down to the paddles. Where April comes around, I'm like, I don't want some of that. They're like, okay. They're not like Specialized where it's like, no, you cancel 5% of your order, you get kicked back like 4 or 5 percentage points, which is a lot in the long run, and. So yeah, I ordered thousands of dollars worth of paddles. That'll start shipping in March. Anyway, like I said, I'll keep talking.
Yeah, I've been thinking of noodling through all the things in my head that I'm going to need from you, and it's it's paddles, it's jackets, it's all kinds of stuff. You better be doing some big orders.
Oh, I did
because we're going to need that stuff. Let's do this or that. You want to do this or that?
Let's see if they make sense.
Let's first. Anything going on in the live stream, Phil? No work tomorrow, and y'all owe us hours still from last time.
I will keep going.
Yeah, no, I will check out. I'll leave all this stuff here. You can keep talking.
I'm gonna go tie some game changers after this.
This or that. Do you want it since you wrote the this or that?
No, I don't want to go cold turkey. Like, see how you read them.
Okay, all right. First item up on this week's this or that, and of course, folks in the live stream, feel free to play along. If I can understand or follow what in the world is going on. Lose an amazing catch without seeing what it actually is, or lose it after you see what it is and how big it is. That is a really good.
Is that a good one?
That is a really good. So breaking it down, you don't get to see the catch, but you know it was an amazing fish and it's gone.
Yeah.
Or you get to see what it was and how big it was, and then it's gone.
Yep.
What would you rather do?
I think I would not want to see it.
Really?
I had that maybe a month ago. The last day I was fishing on my Slayer over in the other side of the river.
Why,
where I lost what I probably thought was a mid 20-inch so redfish or something. I never saw it, though.
Okay, so that's why.
It was demoralizing.
You can make up what it was. It could have been like a 15-inch rockfish, and it.
Oh, it was way bigger than that.
And you just turned it into a mid-20s redfish.
No, that thing was that was demoralizing. But I'm glad I didn't see it. If I had like a high 20 redfish and I lost the right of the boat,
you'd be demoralized.
I'd still be crying.
Yeah,
Or do you want to know what you could have had?
I'm thinking about this. I think I would like to see what it is and how big it is, even if I lose it, because I would still count that as a catch.
Oh, it touched the leader.
I touched the leader. Now, I would want to see what it is, because that gives you information that you can use again. You know what I'm saying? If you're targeting redfish and you got a big old catfish that, suddenly decided to, because they do
could have had a big
stuff.
catfish.
They do weird stuff. Yep. So you go, oh, it was a cat. But if you know that fish was there and how you were targeting that fish, I think that's information you can use as opposed to just being blind and making up a story. That's where I'm coming
from. I got a good story.
I'm a data
I caught
guy.
a 25-inch striper right after that, so guy. Otherwise I would have that'd be pretty rough.
Anybody else? Let's see. Russell, definitely after. Yep. Kyle, hands down, I would like to see it. Your dad says, yeah. Paul says, yeah, I want to see it. It validates your approach and tactics. See, exactly. Gives you data. I'm right there. We got smart listeners, dude. We got legit smart listeners. But that was a fantastic.
How'd you like that?
For that one. I liked it a lot.
I didn't know how to word that one.
Let's see how if it keeps going. Well, I got it. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Second, this or that. Have an alert on your sonar that tells you every time you barely missed a fish, or have no sonar at all. Oh, so either your sonar is scolding you for being a bad fisherman.
And you still use it as sonar, but you're like, oh, you almost had it. You know the guy with the $1?
Yeah. Just missed it. Yeah. Where are you at on that?
Or you're going blind fish, or you blind no sonar.
Blind.
I feel like that's just as bad as not seeing what you almost had.
I was just wondering,
I wrote that one kind of tossed up because.
Where you at? It's a lot like the last one, but
I think it's demoralizing. No, like, oh, you almost had it.
Yeah. But you're talking about like a feature on your sonar that's like scolding you. It's going almost. I think that would be horrible. But I couldn't not do the sonar, so I would just literally have to figure out a way to put up with it.
I feel like that having my wife out there when I'm fishing topwater, like, you almost had that one, and then it's
we're not talking about wives. We got so much trouble last week. Nope. Let's see. Anybody in the live stream? Kyle, no sonar, fake it till you make it. Sean, Brian, thanks for getting Owen. Oh, yeah, I did. I got Owen, Sean's son, in the brag board. If you need more of them, let me know. Is he signing them? I need to know that he's signing them because then they're worth more money. Russell, have the alert. That way you can use it to improve. Again, data. Paul, if I don't catch one, I know I missed it. No sonar. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd rather not know. I'd go sonarless just to not be.
I am not. You talked about it the other week about how people get zoned into their fish finders. That's not me. I don't zone into my fish finder, but man, do I use the information that it gives me.
Yeah.
It tells me where I am on the water. It helps me read water.
I just wait for super low tides.
Okay. The third item up on this week's This or That. Size or numbers?
do you rather go all day for that one big one or catch a bunch of? Oh, okay.
Okay. I get it. Size or numbers.
Yeah.
One quality fish or a bunch of kind of quality fish.
Never think of how I'm gonna respond when I write these either. Like, it's fun every so often to go out to CBL and you catch a bunch of 12-inch fish, but if you get a couple, mid-20s, especially on topwater or something like that, I think I'm gonna go with size. As much as
really,
I feel like I had an excellent year where I would now like to spend a couple hours and catch a really nice fish versus a bunch of little ones.
So,
but that might, earlier part of the year, I might just want the action.
I would probably always go with numbers.
Yeah,
I think you just walk away from that day because I don't keep a lot of fish anyway.
Oh, I'm not doing size to keep it at all. I think everyone knows that now. But
I think it would go with numbers because at the end of the day, too, it is a numbers game. If you're catching high numbers of fish, that means you're fishing in the right spot. That means that you've got a real good opportunity of catching size. So I'm going to go with numbers. I think that makes the day more interesting. You'll walk away from it. You're like, man, had a great day. Your shoulder's a little sore versus just banging at the water and beating the banks like you'd sometimes do when you're largemouth fishing. You just literally throwing a plastic worm at a bank over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's kind of frustrating. So I think I'd rather have the gratification of the numbers than the frustration of the downtime. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's me. We've disagreed on a lot of stuff. Anybody in the live stream, let's see. Sean, just me quality with the kids quantity. Oh, yeah, okay, I get that. Yeah. If it's just you out there fishing, then quality. But if you got your kids along with you, because that's how it gets them hooked, quantity. Paul, he had a rough season this year. I'd settle for size. Yeah. Phil, size, already catch numbers. Just can't get to 30 plus. Kyle, numbers are great when on a kayak and 2 rods go down is a great problem to have. That is truth. That is truth.
Well, next year is going to change for my dad. My dad's also the guy when I was a kid who would fish. He'd throw on the 12-inch whatever lizard or like worm or whatever.
I'd
be fishing a little 4-inch whatever, and I'd catch little ones. And then, my dad would pull a 7-8 pound bass out of Lake Lariat.
Big bait, big fish.
Yeah, and he might catch one that day.
Well, it's because he was watching you to make sure the little redhead kid didn't fall in the water.
He was really with the fishes again.
He really wasn't fishing that much. He was keeping an eyeballs on you.
No, my dad was good at catching the big ones, and I'll catch all the little dink bass.
Last item on this week's This or That: so-so fishing all year. Okay, so so-so fishing all year long, or 4 solid months with the rest of the year with nothing.
Yeah, 4 really good months.
So you got 4 really good months with, I'm struggling with 8 months of downtime.
Yep.
Or you could literally fish every day, all year long,
all right.
and you do all right. You do all right. It's kind of the same as size or numbers question. Where are you at on that? You're supposed to say 4 months.
I really want to say 4 months. I would love 4 really good months of solid fishing.
Well, I'm not so sure I'm not going to disagree with you because
you can fish
you can burn
too
out.
much.
I'm
not saying
out.
burnout's a good thing.
Yeah,
never too much fishing, but
you
can burn out.
But I know that I enjoyed when the KBF tournaments were the first 21 days of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I always enjoyed when that was over because there's a lot of pressure when you're tournament fishing. At the end of that 21 days, it's like day 22 is and it's like, what do y'all want to do? You want to go catch some stripers? You want to go chase a puppy drawn? What do you want to do? It was like it didn't really matter at that point. You were just fishing for fishing's sake.
Yeah.
So it takes the pressure off of it. I would, but 4 solid months, I would dread that if I knew that it was 4 solid months and it's getting ready to come to a close, I would literally, there'd be so much pressure on me. Like, when this weather has been nice, it's just like, I got to go fishing. And I've just broken that in the last few days.
Well,
I've just gotten out of that cycle of feeling guilty because I haven't been fishing.
Jess was telling her tonight, she's asked me about tomorrow morning. I was like, yeah, but this might be the last, because I don't know if it's rain and stuff's going to change it, but last week I said before the cold snap or whatever, I was like, oh, this is the last time. And then the week before I was like, well, there's daylight savings. And it's just, no, we just had it's been weird out.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on.
Let's see.
Live
Russell said, I think I prefer so-so fishing all year if there was some variety in the species. True.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Mike wanted to know if you can pick which months, but 4 months is good for him.
Sure, I'd take and pick your. Well, no, I think those 4 months would almost have to be consecutive. It would almost have to be like 4 in a row. Yeah. Otherwise, the this or that makes no sense. Because you couldn't have good fish in 1 month and then 2 months off and then but that would make it perfect. Yeah.
My dad said 4 good months. Paul, sorry. Sean said that would depend on how much you get to fish. If you only get 1 day a week, then 4 months would stink. That's true.
That's true. That is a really good point. Yep. If you have a schedule that doesn't allow you to fish and you only got that 4 month window, that's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on that one, but I'm one of the lucky few. I get to fish a lot. What?
Look at that. What? Mudhole Custom is doing at 11. Oh, today at 6:30 p.m. Oh, they're live now. Rod repair.
That was 2 hours ago.
They're still live. They do like 2 hour. They do long live. And they do a lot of live.
Sometimes I think people say we do. If you count both of our podcasts, we do a lot of live time.
I try to explain to people sometimes like Tuesday nights. I was like, Tuesday's a long day when you're leaving for work. They're on hour 2.
Wow.
And it's the same. They always do lives maybe once a week. I don't know. It's a fun thing.
Phil just making some points. Can't decide, but shout outs to my wife who's tuning in with me. Mike said, I think my schedule would change if I knew I had 4 months of solid fishing. That's true.
Here's what I want to do. Say I own a kayak shop. I'm going to work my ass off April through October. And then my 4 good months of good fishing are going to start.
Well, no, you go to Florida.
I'm not going to work end of October through March.
Okay, Mel's Crabs. That's what he does.
Jess, I'm going to Florida.
He sells crabs from what, like April through late November.
If you can make your year's worth of money in that short time, you're going to work more.
Well, it's not short time, but
it's not short.
December, January, February, and then into March, he goes down to Florida and like chills.
That's going to be me soon.
That's the way to do it. It's the way to do it, right there. And you'd have 4 good solid months of fishing down there.
Yeah, maybe to get another tide.
I don't know. I like Florida. I would enjoy.
I love Florida. I want to go to Louisiana though.
I've been to Louisiana. It's full of bugs.
Maybe I will snowbird down in Charleston.
That's kind of a thing. You could do that.
That's kind of where I want to go.
Yeah, you could do that. Easy.
Or Venice. Redfish. Huge redfish.
There you go. Well, that was our last this or that. And thank you, everybody. That was a lot of fun this week with all of our live stream folks jumping in and participating.
No one complained about my babbling.
That was a lot of fun. Anything you want to bring us up to speed on with the Facebook group?
No.
No. Okay, nothing.
No, but maybe I will build a spinning rod over the next few weeks when I have the new wind grips.
There you go.
I'm trying to hunt down like a Sage or St. Croix blank for a spinning rod.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week in the live stream. I think we are ready to shut this thing down, Joey, unless you've got something else.
Don't ask.
You can find...
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
Millhouse podcast. I talked about it on the bike one. The first podcast I listened to that... it's just different. I don't know. It's good fishing podcast. They're a year into it. They're not new. Those guys have been around forever, but they've had some really good guests. With like the stories, they've been able to get these guys on that are just old, crusty guides and stuff.
Nice.
I don't know. It was really entertaining to listen to.
Nice.
I like hearing like old dudes come on and tell stories
about the old days.
Back in my day. But it's good. Like these dudes that are fishing Florida with chasing 150-pound tarpon on like 4-pound tests.
Weren't you listening to Paddle and Fin?
I was.
Their quality is horrific.
It is.
And the last one I listened to, I'm pretty sure he was drunk.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Not like in a, like, hey, like you and I do. It's like, hey, what beer are we drinking tonight? We have a beer while we do our podcast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was slurring words. It was like,
hey, that must have been a good night.
I don't know. I was like, Joey listens to this, and I just plugged it in. And
I tuned into
weird.
Paddle Fit, and it's they put out a lot of content. And I usually don't shout out to many. Obviously, I do podcasts, and I sometimes don't want to listen to podcasts after a while.
Yeah.
Millhouse was really good.
I'll check that one out. Millhouse.
They have a great social media presence. Like I don't know, they're almost up to like 20,000 followers.
Holy cow!
Those dudes have a different They've had a background.
We're closing in on that.
Yeah,
We've got like
we got
800.
Like 4?
No, 800. Oh, yeah. We're doing really good on the YouTube channel. I think. Yeah. I think so. I need to check numbers. I don't know.
The Millhouse guys. or the Millhouse podcast.
Millhouse Podcast.
Yep.
Okay.
Follow their Instagram. They've had some really cool guests.
I will say I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes, and then I won't do it.
Maybe I will share it on. Well, I don't have an Instagram for this, but
I can
my personal Instagram.
I can hook you up with that. Let me hook you up with that.
I got 5 Instagrams on there.
Well, you just said you wanted it. So, yeah, what's another one?
I don't know.
Till next week, folks. If you're looking for us online, facebook.com/Angler Magazine Chesapeake. I'd love to pump the numbers up over there. If you haven't found us on Facebook yet, check that out. Love to beat some numbers there. On Instagram, the magazine is at Chesapeake Angler. You can find me on Instagram at BNRains. Joey, how can folks get in touch with you?
My address is 7. My Instagram.
Knock on the door, stare in the window.
Hey, man, I got the water right there. At Joey Sikorsky 24 or at Pack Paddles. I actually got my paddle shirt on tonight, but
there it is.
No one wants to see my belly. I've already flashed the other camera a couple times.
If you're watching us on YouTube, then you already know how to find us on YouTube. Yep. But if you're listening to the audio and you'd like to join in the live stream fun, because we do seem to have a lot of fun lately with the live stream, youtube.com/Chesapeake Angler. And all you folks over in the live stream, have you noticed that our quality of our cameras has had a decided upgrade?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
They can tell that calendar still says July behind you.
Well, it's COVID. It's a COVID calendar. It's all good. And, of course, you can read the e-magazine online at ChesapeakeAnglerMag.com. And if you got bragboard pictures, send them my way because I need some. And you can be like Sean and get your little peep in bragboard.
Yep.
And that's awesome.
You got your stickers from Sean?
Yeah, I did. I got stickers. Sean, I got stickers today. Joey had some in the shop. Oh, careful.
Excuse me.
Over there. Okay, there we go. We're going to shut this thing down, Joey. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Ooh. You tell him, Max.
You tell him, Max.